back to our relaunch of the TRM podcast show. My name is Mathew Park, and I have some incredible humans with me today who are in the United States, Arizona to be exact. And I've actually known I've known Shane longer than I've known Danelle. I've known Shane for a few years now through a mutual friend. And I was like, we'll bring this podcast back for an interview with this amazing couple because they've been doing a lot of really amazing things in the last 10 months. And of course, I've also gone through a lot of challenges in the growth of their businesses and so forth. But I wanted to bring you guys up to speed on a great couple. This couple is from Arizona, Shane and Danelle. And they own Shane Early Nutrition and Training. Scent Gym is the new name, I believe. Correct, Shane?
Yeah.
Beautiful. They've been married
14.
14. And how many kids you guys have? I lost track.
4.
Okay. Basically, you're building a baseball team. I love it. So you got beautiful 4 children. You're building a business. You guys had the gym for how long now?
8 years. 8 years.
Yeah.
And this power couple, where do you guys are? City?
It's like we're in Hereford, but the closest big town where the gym's at, Sierra Vista.
Okay, there you go. So I love it. So this couple obviously has been in TRM for 10 months. And it's kind of cool because I remember the first call I had with Shane. I actually was in Louisiana. I remember this like clear as day. We were talking maybe like 7-8 months before that. And then of course kind of lost track for a bit, touched base again. And our first coaching call, I was actually at Jace's house, by the way, in Louisiana, and I was having a coaching call with Shane. I remember that call because we got to learn deeper into your business, and you guys were like working a lot of hours, lots of what's happening on the personal side as well, and you guys really navigated a ton. So before we kind of go down that path, I want to bring that story up because I'll never forget where you started and where you are now. It's truly inspiring. So I'm excited to dive in deep on what you guys have been doing all these months, and of course how you overcame these things to get where you are today and where you're building going forward. So Shane and Danelle, to get this party rolling, share a bit more on this story, kind of get the ball rolling, a little more your depth of your story of this gym and how you guys got going.
So I've been like training people since 2004. Every time I hear a podcast or something, people are like, 2017, 2018. It always makes me feel kind of old. Like I should be further along in it. And that's where TRM really helped out a lot, just kind of scaling and seeing like the bigger picture versus being in the business. But I had a chance, actually, Dr. Joe was selling his gym off in San Diego. And that's how I cruised down there. He made me an offer and I bought a lot of his equipment. And that slowly built out our gym.
We didn't have anywhere to put all that equipment, mind you. I was like, where are you going to put this all? And he stuck it in our garage.
In our carport. Like I had nowhere, but it was such a good deal. I was like, I can't pass this up. We'll open a gym because I've been running other people's gyms for, at that point, 12, 15 years, whatever it had been. And I was like, I got an idea. And then our kids were doing jujitsu at a shoot box here that we have in town, which is one of only 2 or 3 in the country. And they went into a bigger space and had extra space. And it's it was a 15 by 80 space. And they're like, hey, are you interested? And so that's how that started, is just opening up in there, and it's kind of grown from there as a 24-hour facility. And then we'd like niche down because I was training competitors, bodybuilders, and bikini girls, and I was doing my online thing too. And then it's been like I've concentrated on online or in person, and like with the TRM setup, it's been able for us to niche down, and really like it's made a big difference because I very much had like the scarcity mindset and I got to hold on to what I have, and I got to take all the clients that I can. And now niching down, like it's just kind of been a wild thing.
I feel like sometimes like we stumbled into it. Like it wasn't always the long-term plan. Shane graduated college and everyone was like, okay, well, are you going to be a dietitian? Like what's going to be where are you going to go work? And Shane was always like, I'm not going to work for anybody. Was always his thing. So he was like trying to do not trying, but he was doing the online part of it. And then, the gym in California came up and I was really against him getting it. And he was like, you don't understand. This is a great deal. And I was like, we don't have anywhere to put it. Like, what are we going to do?
We don't have the money.
Yeah, we didn't have the money really. And then Shoebox kind of had heard that he had bought basically a gym. And so when they got into the new space, they asked if he wanted to move the gym in there. So that's kind of how it started.
Total by chance, man. Because I was training and working in all these gyms, and I'd always get challenged when I would do stuff, like, because I was self-educated, not certifications and whatnot. And I'd get people that are like, well, you don't have a formal education. So I went to the U of A, which I commuted up there for 2 years, and I got my undergrad in nutrition and dietetics.
Which is like an hour and a 45-minute drive from us. And he did that
2 days or 5 days a week for 2 years. And then I got my master's in nutrition and human performance. And then I was like, I think I'm done with school. It didn't really help anything. It was cool. And like, I got exposed to research and whatnot. But like, I had been doing this so long before the anecdotal stuff was already there.
Oh my gosh. You drove almost 2 hours, like twice, like back and forth from this location, 5 days a week?
Yeah, because at that point we had 2 kids and I went to school. I was teaching full time. And so my job was here, our home was here. You know, we had 2 kids at the time. So yeah, he drove every day.
That's incredible, guys. That is true teamwork right there. Wow.
It was rough.
Yeah. If we have to go to Tucson now, he's like, I hate this drive.
And, you know, it was, of course, fast forward for a second. We'll come back to this. This is actually a really powerful story. When we had our call back in September, right? Shane, I remember you talking about how busy you were, right? With so many clients, things happening. And of course, the kids and Danelle and what was happening. By the way, are you guys homeschooling the kids or no?
Yes, we are now.
Okay. So that's another big step, you know, like homeschooling kids while growing a business is a lot. So good job, guys. Wow. So let's go back for a second. That's a pretty powerful story. Education, right? You've got you got a lot of years of education, Shane, of education, what you put. Obviously it's, you know, it's helped you into become the part of who you are today with the coaching. What would you say was one of the last year, maybe 2 years? I'm going to go back a second, actually. 8 years you had the gym to where you are now, right? What's been the big mental shift for you from like 8 years ago to where it is now?
Oh, not having to do everything completely by myself. That's hands down the biggest difference. And that's actually just been in the last 10 months with TRM. I brought Danelle on to like kind of control the back end. I'm not like a business owner, like in the sense that I need to be in the stuff. I can either do that. I'm not very good at compartmentalizing. Like I am and I'm not. I will concentrate on one area and then not another. So I've had Danelle start helping on the back end of things, and that's been like a massive game changer. But also bringing on employees in the gym. We're servicing more members and clients than I could do on my own, and I'm there. I went from there being in the gym 80 to 90 hours, 5 days a week to I'm there 5 or 6 hours a week now, maybe. So like that's by far and away the biggest. And I have a tendency to try to outwork everything, and I'm just like more time, more. And that's even in my personal life, that's made a big shift.
How many hours were you in the gym, like, let's say 3 to 4 years, even like 3 or 4 years ago per week?
Oh, at least 60, I would say.
And now what's the average?
5 or 6, like when I want to be.
Yeah, when he wants to go in.
It's a big change.
I have like some like youth athletes that I really enjoy training, and I have a couple like, and it's like I show up, like I'll take them from my trainers, and I was talking to Isaac the other day, and it's kind of cool. It's like, it's like a celebrity feel when I come in. Everybody's all excited to see me and whatnot, and I have so much more energy. I'm not run ragged, so.
Now, you're at the time that you've gained back. Where do you put that time, or where do you invest that time in now?
So building the business, that's one of the biggest things. Like I couldn't really see, like I was so in it that I was like, man, just trying to like grasp on to like I gotta hold it.
It was like the grind day to day.
Yeah, and everything just kind of ran together. Now it's like this big picture thing. Like we have a goal to get each one of my trainers that are under me, X number of clients to keep growing the business. It's just wild, like to see the difference. It's just been an entire like change. Rather than being in the business, I'm growing the business.
Wow. How like obviously putting now Danelle, of course, being more involved in the business. How has that changed?
It's been another game changer. It's like having an adult help me. She like holds me like accountable for things. We'll do our newsletter and stuff like that. And I'm like, oh, I'll get to it. And she's like, no, we're gonna do this right now. And she's way more tech savvy. So like on the back end of the systems and following up, like the personal touches with clients and members, like birthdays and things like that. That stuff I just in my mind I wanted to do, but I never got around to it. As she executes it and gets it done.
then I like doing it. I really do.
And I don't.
I do. So that worked out well for us.
I want to ask you, Danelle, like with you homeschooling your 4 kids now, right? And of course, playing a role in the business like you are with Shane, and also even your marriage. What's been the biggest thing you guys have been learning in navigating this life change for the business and at home?
Gosh, the biggest thing we've learned.
Or the thing that you've maybe changed in your scheduling or your routine that, you know, when the kids were in school compared to now being homeschooled and then run the business with Shane, because obviously you guys got hours back, Shane, for, you know, for what you can do, right? But then Danelle's also playing a role in the business. So I'd love to hear, you know, what comes to heart or mind on what you've learned or things you've changed to manage that process.
Well, I'm definitely still figuring it out. The homeschooling last year was we had talked about it for years, but when we finally did it, it was very abrupt from some things that had happened with our oldest at school. And so I've kind of just been figuring, I mean, I did teach before I, you know, was a stay-at-home mom. So I do have experience in that, but I was still trying to figure out, well, what does this look like at home? And then I was telling Shane when we decided to do that is kind of when he was like, okay, and now like, and I wanted to too. I was like, I want to be a more active role in the business. Like I want this to be a partnership, but it kind of happened all at once. And so sometimes I feel like I'm, you know, just trying to juggle everything, and I'm still figuring out what that looks like. I do have like going into August, I work very structured, like schedules and stuff. Like I'm a very like from this time to this time, and Shane knows, like on our fridge, I have my like week to-do list, my day to-do list. So that works really well for me. And I start every morning with my workout. that really puts me in a good headset for all of it. But I think I'm still figuring it out. I'm still trying to figure out how to juggle both. So yeah.
You know, I'm so grateful you shared that vulnerability. We homeschooled our kids back in February and March too. So I understand that we don't have 4 kids, we only have 2. But to hear you stepping into a role in the business and still figuring it out, I think just shows the realness as you guys as humans, you know, your heart-centered realness, that you're still progressing, but it's at your own pace and you're figuring it out. That's okay. You might be figuring out for the next 2 years. That's okay, you know. But you did those moves. So that's bold. That's courageous.
I feel like some days my focus is on like the business stuff and I get like super excited about like my next idea. And then other days is on like the homeschool stuff. And I'm like, Shane, I found this like curriculum or whatever. And so like I said, I'm just trying to balance it out right now and how to do both on the same day, you know, have that focus on both of them. So yeah, we'll see. The kids have had the summer off, so it's given me a little bit of time to just focus on the business side and we'll go from there. Yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Let's go back now, because you said you were doing 60 hours a week on average in the gym, Shane, right? With coaching and training. Now you're doing 5 to 7.
No, that was when we were slow, the 60 hours a week. Like and then it got up to over 90 at one point. Like some of our members would come in, we have a little couch, and like they would catch me sleeping in there, and like I would just sit and I'm like, okay, I'd get, and I remember having like thermal regulation issues because I was so sleep deprived. I'd have to pick up the kids, and it was July in Arizona, it's 100 degrees, and I'd still have like a sweatshirt on and just be like driving, just like zombie mode, barely making it through the day.
And a lot of caffeine.
That is, wow, guys, that is incredible. Okay. So let's rephrase that, between 60 to 90 hours a week, give or take, right? While raising a family. So now, you know, we'll fast forward 10 months. Okay. You're down to 5 to 7 hours a week. Okay. Let's talk a little more specific on this, if you don't mind, Shane. What things changed? What things, mental, tactical, systemized, offers? Give me some steps where you took to create this change.
Like it gave me the ability to breathe and see the big picture. I started to come down with it, because the other thing too is like my training prices, I hadn't changed since 2008, and I hadn't changed my coaching prices since 2016, and it was very much like, oh, well, I want to take the clients that I can get. And now, just like I was telling Danelle the other day, when I do sales consults, like I have a few today, I throw our offers out there and I'm like, you can take it or leave it. Like, I know what we bring to the table. And sometimes I feel like you're getting an even better deal. And if you want to go to another gym, have at it, because there's trainers in our town in other gyms that the owners of those gyms refer them to train with my team. And then they take what they learn back to their gym. So like, I'm like, it is what it is. The proof is in the pudding. We are the best gym in town. Like it's not even debatable. So that's given me the confidence to just like push our offers and be like, here's what we offer, and we don't deviate from that. And that's been the big thing. Before in the past, I would really like try to mold whatever somebody was looking for. So I like have the perfect setup. Oh, you only want to do this or do that, and oh, what's your budget? Well, let me try and like work it for you. And over the years, the 20 years I've been doing this, it's always like anytime I've given a deal to somebody, it's backfired on me. Those people don't appreciate or like care about what you're doing, like as far as if they're not paying like your full price. And when you get people that pay and like pay your offer, it's just so much easier. Like you don't deal with the nonsense. So that's been a big one too. Anytime somebody wants to negotiate or deviate from what we're doing, I'm like, no, this is what we offer, and that's it. So much easier.
Oh my gosh, I love that. I love that. What else?
Systemizing everything.
Yeah, that having it like automated, like I have check-in days instead of trying to run around and like we're out doing something. I'm like, oh, I'm trying to do a check-in or I'm trying to respond to this. Like, no, our check-in days are Wednesdays. If you miss that, like then I'll hear from you next Wednesday. If I get a chance to do around it or I feel up to doing it on a weekend, then that's fine. But like if you're not in on the system on Wednesdays for your check-in, like yeah, you're probably gonna miss your check-in. And that's not like me being a jerk. It's me holding you accountable and not bending over backwards for you. So that's been huge. Being able to delegate too, like I've run gyms and managed gyms where I've been able to delegate, but there's something different about when it's your own gym, where it's like, you know, if I'm working for somebody, like, yeah, I have X trainer go do this, but when it's your own gym, it's wild because I'm very much, not so much a sense of a micromanager, but just like, oh, it's okay, I'll go do it myself. And that's been the hardest part, is like letting go of these clients that I've had for like 5, 6, my longest tenured client's been with me for 12 years. So it's one of those, like you let some of these people go, or like let them go to another trainer, or I still do all the programming, but it's someone else like leading it, and we're doing small groups. And that was really hard for me at first, because I'm like, nobody's going to do it like me. We just had a woman that's been with me for 5 or 6 years set a bunch of PRs yesterday in the gym with my program, but she was with my trainer. I haven't trained her for 3 or 4 months.
Or worrying that we were going to lose people when they weren't working with him.
And I will say that we did lose like 2 people, just 3 people. And it was a good thing. They didn't like the pricing structure, and they didn't like not working with me. And it was like just honestly a bitch fit. And I was like glad to see them go. Initially, they're the client that always was like, oh, I'll try to make it for them. And then they brought down the vibe in the gym. Like nobody really liked them. It was very much like, and I guess you don't really see it when you're in it, because it's like, I want to hold on to these clients, whatnot, but they sucked. And it wasn't worth keeping them on. We got rid of 3 of them, and we brought on probably like another 5 people. And they all vibe and everybody gets along. So that was really hard too, like seeing people that because I did like seeing them progress, and and their personalities didn't jive well, but they like, it was fun training them because one of them was an athlete. But I'm like, you see the bigger picture, and you're kind of like it was an addition by subtraction, I suppose. And
just seeing who like wants to see you grow, who's going to support you in that.
That was really telling, because some people are very much like not on your support for growing. It's just an interesting thing, and like I said, you just don't see it when you're in it.
It's so true. Danelle, from your perspective, what did you see change?
Oh my gosh, so much. He's the same way at home too. Like I always tell Shane, he's like the one-man band. He's very like, I'll do it, I got it. And it's changed at home for him too. But then also just, you know, he's not completely overwhelmed and stressed with doing everything on his own at the gym. And so he's been home a lot more with like me and the kids. And he's always made it a point to, you know, never miss any of the kids' events. But we've just had him home a lot more and present. And I really like it because we sit down and we talk business. He had ideas this morning when I was getting ready that he came and he's like, I found this for the gym. And it's just really cool because we haven't had that aspect of our relationship where it was like business stuff. Like I was teaching, or, you know, stay-at-home mom, and then he was doing the business stuff. So it's been really cool it's like the partnership of that now too, which has been really cool. I really like it. Yeah.
It's strengthened the relationship, I can tell.
Yeah.
You know, because in the beginning it was Shane coming to the calls. Now it's you guys both coming to the calls.
Yeah, first he was like, okay, you're going to start helping me. And I was like, oh, that's fine. And then he was like, what about the calls? And I was like, oh, I don't know about that. And he's like, just go. They're all really nice. And so yeah, I started doing the calls and now I love them. I'm like, Shane, it's time for the call. I get some people get something so much from them. I mean, we were driving to Idaho and made sure we were on the calls. So the car.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, honestly, if you guys are on Thursday calls, I'm like, where did Shane and Danelle go? Like, are they like disappeared on in space somewhere? I'm like, they aren't here.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Now, how about at home leading the kids? You guys obviously have 4 kids. So like when you're navigating obviously a lot of business change this year and then looking at homeschooling and running the business, how do you lead your kids? How do you guide the kids or take care of the kids maybe differently than you have before or now, or how is that navigating that aspect of your life?
I think are just involved in everything now. We make it a point because we have a 1-year-old, so he's challenging, but the other 3, like, they're just included in everything. I think is
Everything
the big
we
change.
do, they're there. They have, we don't do babysitters or they're just with us. They're part of the crew. Like they joke about our kids in there. They're like the scent mascots of the gym, especially like our little 1-year-old running around. I mean, they're just so used to it. It's a very like family feel in there. Yeah.
Wow. How old are your kids? Like the range
12,
of your
8,
ages?
4, and 1.
Okay. So is your 12-year-old kind of helping with the kids, the younger
She's
ones?
actually watching them right now, so we can do this. She's like,
she gets an allowance to help with the 1-year-old. Yeah.
That's great. He's almost like support the family to take care of the
And
family,
that's
to
what
help
we
lead the
always tell
family.
them, we're all part of this family. We all have our part to help our role in helping each other.
contribute. Yeah.
Contributing. Yeah.
I love that. If you guys don't mind, obviously, going into maybe a challenge that you guys had to overcome or have overcome in the last 10 months, I think it's good to share. I know there's a few, right? And I don't know if you guys want to go into that or not, but the vulnerability, I think, of just sharing that or one thing that comes to mind. It could be business,
There's a
personal, whatever.
lot, man.
that you have to overcome.
Honestly, like when I first contacted you, we were getting ready to have our 1-year-old, and I was like, oh, it's maybe not the best time because I know being through 3 other kids, I knew how busy it was going to be. And then I was like, all right, man, I finally got to tear this Band-Aid off. So like, then my mom unexpectedly was diagnosed with dementia, and like that was kind of hard because my dad was elderly. And that was, I don't know, I want to say like April.
That was April.
Because when did we start with TRM?
We started, I thought, in September. If I'm
So I finally got my
September.
mom's situation figured out. That was hard. And then started with TRM, and it was hard. I was still having a hard time cut back from the gym and whatnot and like changing things up. And it was still like I was missing the calls because I was so busy at the gym and everything, dealing with my personal situation with my parents and with the newborn. And then was it December?
Yeah.
Yeah. December, my dad unexpectedly passed away. Sorry, kind of snuck up on me. Yeah, so my dad passed away from a fall, and we weren't expecting that. So then we had my mom in a home by herself with dementia. We had to handle that. So that was really challenging. And honestly, like, without like without the TRM systems and stuff like that, I couldn't have done it. Like, we had no way to make money or anything if I wasn't in the gym. But I started implementing some of those changes, and we were able to get my mom into a nursing home, which actually, excuse me, the business pays for her nursing home too. So that's been like crazy helpful.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a bit it's just been so much, like it's been hard to process. Like a lot. I still kind of obviously haven't like all the way yet.
I think it was so much at once, there was no time to be able to process it because his dad,
Yeah.
that was very unexpected, and he was caring for his mom. And so overnight, it wasn't like he got a chance to process what happened to his dad because his mom became the immediate, like she needed him right away to care for her, you know, financially, physically, everything. So, and I don't think that we've had time, or he's had time still. So, and then, you know, you have your kids that rely on you, and you still got to show up and go to work. And we hadn't hired a trainer yet, so he was still going in every day, and most of his clients would have no idea what was happening.
No, I don't share personal stuff at all
Yeah.
with anyone. So very much like this is a lot to take in, because you're like, you have one parent that you're like, oh man, that's kind of wild. Because my mom unexpectedly had dementia. She like got to where she didn't recognize the kids and stuff. So like we're trying to navigate that, and then my dad fell off their porch bringing in groceries, and he landed on his head, and he unexpectedly passed away on his birthday, which she was the closest with our kids too, which is really challenging.
Yeah.
So then you go from having one parent, you're like, all right, cool. And he was 87, so like he was elderly and had a good life. But it's one of those where you're dealing with one situation, and then it's like, damn, what do you mean? Like, I just had this one figured out, and now like, and my mom was home alone with dementia for a couple months. We dealt with like so many things, and like, I don't know. It's just, even still now, everything just feels super surreal.
Thank you for sharing that, Shane. And it's so sensitive to process, you know, and on this call. And I think when I heard about that, you know, months ago and what you went through, it was a shock to me. And what I want to, I'm glad you shared, and obviously I wasn't expecting you to share on this call like this, but I think those are some of the best times to share courage to others that maybe are struggling and don't know who to open up to. And you just inspired me, just what you just shared. You just inspired me, because the courage and bravery you have to go through challenge.
And that's the thing, is like, I always hear my dad in the
Powerful.
back of my mind, like when he passed away, I literally went to work that day. And then my dad would, because he was just like very old school. He's like, but like, you have a family to take care of. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing sitting around? Like, you're fine. Just go. And so I always take that with me. I'm like, because he's the hardest working dude I ever met.
He was a tough dude. Yeah.
You took those skills, Shane, and you really are an inspiration, man. You have no idea who you inspire right now, but you inspire many people. Your family obviously is first. And when I learned about what was happening with you, I was like, man, like this man, it just shows up. You know, he puts his heart on the table. He takes care of his family. He leads. You go through the tough stuff, and dude, that's courage, man. That is so much bravery. This is going to be a more perfect couple to bring back our interview on, because honestly, this just lit me up right now with just pure inspiration. And I'm sorry, brother, you're going through all that right now. I really am. And I'm actually grateful that you're bringing this up on this, because I think that some suffer in silence, you know, and when they're growing a business, they feel lonely, you know, and they don't know who to turn to, and they don't know. It sounds like everything is great on the outside. Everything looks fine. You know, numbers are great, but in the inside, it's like, you know what? I'm also got ducks paddling under the water right now, and you don't see what's going on over here. I'm trying to keep my 4 kids taken care of, my wife over here, the gym going. I got my mom over here. This just happened. And dude, you've been doing that for months, you know, and when you came and told me you gained back all that time, I was like, man, I'm so grateful.
Yeah, it couldn't have been better timing.
Family, you know, oh, it's a blessing, brother. Pure blessing. Pure blessing. Like that literally just, that was just fire from me right now. I honestly that was just pure awesome.
Yeah.
I appreciate you sharing that, brother. I really
like
do.
I said, I don't really talk about it too much. It's one of those, like, I'm very private with my personal stuff, and like I feel like honestly most people don't care. And it's just one of those, like, I don't know, not even the vulnerability, just like nobody cares. Everybody's going through their own thing. But like you said, if it can help somebody else, that's actually really cool. Because like the thing is like nobody cares. You gotta have to man up and push through. Like I have the family to take care of, and
of course. But you know what it is though, Shane? It's not so much about like the sharing of the story is like there could be another coach, entrepreneur, whoever, even is watching this live, or will watch this live afterwards or whatever, or listen to this podcast, they could have other things happen in their life that aren't, they could have lost this or lost that or lost everything, and they're like, I don't want to tell nobody this. I'm scared to. I feel alone. I feel empty. But I'm like, this, you just lost someone close to you, in your family. You can't, that's tough. I can't even understand. I have no idea what it feels like, but when someone else is going through something that's a material thing, it's like, does that really matter? Does it really matter? When you hear what you just share, it's like, you know what, pull up the pants and go, but know that you have a network of people that do care. And actually, I'm grateful that you share, because your sharing does inspire, dude. It inspires me to leave my family better, because you just pulled up your pants next thing and went, but you still have to deal with it, and you are doing the best you can, man. Danelle is showing up now, the kids, and you're homeschooling. Like, yeah, man, you should get like 3 different awards for this. All right. You really should, bro. Yeah, you really should. And what you've done for the business to create that for your family, it laid a path to take care of your mother.
That's been the hardest thing. She wasn't very supportive of me, and like, not like the model mother, but she had a rough childhood and those types of things, like down a whole nother path. But like, sometimes it is a little, like, it still makes me a little salty. Like, every month I got to pay this huge lump sum to my mom, and she doesn't even know. It's just one of those, like, she was a big obstacle for me as a child and like as a young adult. She would try to be supportive, but she had addictive issues and a lot of her own problems. And now, like, and that's part of the reason she has dementia. And like, now trying to take care of her, sometimes it's, I don't know, try to take the high road. I guess, like, I like to like illustrate for my kids, like, here, even though like maybe she wasn't great to me, she was good to you guys. And like, that's what I'm here for. Leading by example, showing the kids, like, here, just do the right thing.
Wow, Shane, you are something, man. You are something. I want to move to a different topic, if you don't mind, brother. Is that okay, buddy? Yeah, this is actually beautiful. And I want to go over to the next step in the vision, because we were talking about a month ago, maybe it was on a platinum call. I forget exactly where it was. And I think I threw you a voice after a call, and I was like, guys, like, there's something bigger in this conversation about like the new location or whatever that looks like. What, from that conversation, what's the vision of what you're building? What's the next?
So we kind of transitioned, because we're getting kind of ahead of ourselves, putting the cart in front of the horse. I think now is to maximize where we're at now, get us at max capacity, and look for a new location. But also, you made the point of like functioning and acting like you are those people that have the building, or you have this, and it's changed things a lot. It's been able to where we can see the outside perspective of like, all right, here's what we need to do. So we started to break down numbers and looking at like, all right, cool, each trainer can take on 4 people at 4 sessions a group. What's that look like monetarily if they're coming in at our offer? Here's where we're at. What does that look like for a building? So that's been a big thing where that's changed a lot.
Long term, yeah, owning your own business.
Building. And then a second location, ideally.
Yeah.
Long term.
Would that be in the same, like, not the same town, maybe the same town,
No,
like within the area,
rather
like
have
an hour?
something else in northern Arizona. There's a lot of stuff for our kids up in that area, and it'd be fun to bounce back and forth.
So that's kind of what we said. We were getting ahead of ourselves. We were like, let's do this like a second place in northern Arizona. And then, we kind of had to take a step back and be like, well, maybe it's a better idea to actually have our own building here instead of, going right away. That's like the long-term goal, is to get to northern Arizona.
I'm curious, what's the time for the long goal? Like, is this a year, 2 years, 6 months?
So within the
3
next
years?
5, we were talking about the other day, based on like real estate and things and how it's looking for the next few years. Like, I was looking at some stuff and have some prospectors that we train in the gym, and they said you want to definitely move in the next like 3 to 5 years, like make a big move.
And definitely while we still have our 12-year-old at home with us, so that she can enjoy that with us. That's a goal.
I love that. And then with the current location, like, how much more, because obviously you've got that gym pretty much humming pretty good right now. Like, how much more growth is there in that location?
I think we can probably add another 40 to 60 clients.
Yeah.
And that would be about it. We'd be done then.
So I feel like we could still grow.
Beautiful. And that,
sorry, I just said I feel like we could grow still a lot more in there before we had to move. Yeah.
Agreed. I love that. And then how long do you guys anticipate that amount of clients would take for you guys?
Based on the consults and stuff we're getting lately, and I've been way more active on social media, I would say like in the next 6 to 12 months.
Yeah, I think we could.
Okay, cool.
We've been talking about marketing and what that looks like for us because we've never marketed. We've always just been pretty much referrals, like 100%. Um, and so we started talking about that last week. We actually had a call with Isaac, and he was talking about marketing, and I was like, he's like, "What's your marketing budget?" I was like, "Zero." We don't do anything. I mean, Shane's been way more active on social media, but aside from that, we haven't put anything towards that. So we were kind of thinking about if that's like our next step to help bring in some people faster. Like Shane said, he always has consults. Like we get those in, but bringing in more people, maybe we need to start looking at marketing.
Because word of
putting some
mouth's
money
been
towards
how
it.
I've grown my entire business since I
Yeah.
started.
So the question I'm going to ask you guys is word of mouth built your business? The question becomes then, what if we just 3 to 5x word of mouth growth, right? On top of the marketing you're going to be doing, but like, what if we take the word of mouth and actually like, because you already probably right now get organically your word of mouth is just because you have a great product, a great service, right? It's phenomenal. Then actually have a system, even better system you've already built, like just build on that system even more on word of mouth and an actual process that just magnifies word of mouth.
Yeah. We have a referral program, but we haven't really done too much with it.
Yeah,
That's why I'm
there's that.
asking,
And then it's actually, we got the website tied into Google, and now we're getting several people from Google, which I never have before, but I've never had like Google reviews set up either. Because we had Facebook, and like I had over 100 reviews on there, and then Facebook randomly, like they'll go away. I looked the other day, and then we had 19, and then I looked again, and we had 35, and I'm like, where are they going? I don't know if I don't know how that works.
Yeah. And even though he's had the gym for 8 years, we didn't have a Google business page. We didn't ask for reviews. And so now I'm like, there's so many people that we could ask. And I'm like, oh man, if we had started this 8 years ago, we'd have so many reviews. I think we have like 16 now. And that's been a struggle to get all the time. I'm like, Shane, we need to get more reviews. Like we need to get more reviews. So, yeah, I've been working on that, trying to get those, but
It's phenomenal you guys have built, what you've built word of mouth. That just shows testament of your product, right? Obviously. And I love that. This was obviously a coaching session on a podcast interview, but I just love what you guys are building because it's just so beautiful and organic and, authentic. And, like obviously you mentioned the Danelle referral program. Well, maybe we can go deeper on this on an actual call, but like, I love the fact that you guys are only 40 or 60 people away from, really kind of filling out the whole location. It really isn't like, that's not too far away. It's 6-12 months away. Even if you add in, 10 net people a month, right? Over the next 6 to 8 months, you're there. And then obviously it's maintaining and growing off of that. I love that. And then say the goal is hit, right? In the next 8 months. When would you look at your own location then?
Immediately. Like we have a bunch of realtors and that I trained. That was another niche group that I was working with. But yeah, there's not a whole lot of availability, but it seems like things are starting to turn around here where like things are being developed. Because I think that we would have to build it. We'd have to get land and we'd have to have a building constructed. There's nothing that would fit what we want. Which all this networking recently, I have like massage therapists and other people would like to rent space in our larger building. So that would kind of change. And maybe we could offset some of our costs via that. And we were just nominated for the top 3 gyms in town again, like last week. And we're by far the smallest. Our square footage is less than 2,000.
Wow. So that there's a lot of room for actual potential growth there. Wow. So you're looking at obviously buying the land first. Love that. And then of course building the land.
Exactly how we want it. Like a custom build. We have a couple people that do custom buildings that I train their wives or their sons or them sometimes. So just that network, man, it's awesome.
So I want to go back for 1 second. And we're coming to the end here, guys. But when we first chatted in September, did you ever think of having your own gym, like your own like physical bigger location?
I always had, but like I don't know how that was gonna happen because I was working myself to death and like it wasn't really changing anything. Like I was just trying to hold on to the clients I had, and it would either be like online or in person. I couldn't like I would it was a pendulum. Like I could only do so much. So I would try to take on online, and then it would take away from my in person, and then so it was burning myself out.
Awesome. So once you kind of clear the space, the vision comes to life.
For sure.
It feels attainable now where it didn't before. I think is the difference.
Mm. So maybe that gym goal, you know me, guys, I'm going to throw the, iron a little bit closer to dates here, right? So, because this gets me excited. I want, seeing you guys build something, your dream gets me fired up. So hearing those numbers, what you have to achieve in the next 8 months, is not too far away. Like you mentioned, Shane, going over like who do you have to be to achieve or have a gym location and step into that location? What's that income goal per month? What's the profitability? What's the cash inside you want to have to get that land, or what's that process? It sounds like you guys already have the people and the who's somewhat lined up.
Yeah, a lot of the parts are kind of there. We just got to put them together. Maximize where we're at now. So we have a good deal where we're at. So I want to take advantage of that as long
That's
as we
made
can.
us comfortable too, though.
Yeah, for sure has potentially maybe bring on another trainer. So we have that one in the wings waiting to go. But once we start hitting like consistent like 20K months, I think that would be like comfortable to get into a space. But I feel like that we're right there, and I think that like the room for growth is almost exponential. We've started to carve out a niche in town, like where people come to us, and my online stuff has started to pick back up. Like competitors have started to be like, hey, you doing online things? And now that I'm not training people one-on-one again, I've taken on competitors as I've wanted to work with them and not taken on everyone. So I have a few online competitors that I just enjoy training, which also just helps bring in more income for the month in the gym. And I want to take care of our trainers too. That's the other thing. I've worked in so many gyms, and trainers are usually like a dime a dozen, and they don't get taken care of. So I'd like to change that a little bit too.
I love it. So the vision is coming to life sooner than we actually think.
For sure.
Beautiful. Beautiful. All right, guys, I got a couple of rapid fire questions to ask you that are totally off topic, just to kind of have some fun here at the end. All right. And I'm going to ask each of you the same questions so we kind of get two perspectives. Okay. These are more fun questions. Okay. Number one, favorite food, Shane.
Ooh, good one. Carne asada fries.
Oh, okay, cool.
That's like my cheat one.
Favorite muscle group to train?
Ooh.
Glutes.
Damn,
all day.
Chest.
Chest. Okay, cool. Like that. All right. Favorite exercise?
Hip thrust.
I don't know. It's like different stuff. Right now it's flat bench press, but like it changes. Those are seasons.
Okay. Dream location you want to visit for a trip?
Greece.
As a family.
Oh man, I was like,
you're thinking like Arizona or something?
I don't like to travel and I don't like to fly.
The Cayman Islands.
Oh.
Oh yeah.
Greece would be cool. Yeah. I never really put too much thought into it.
Okay, Greece. Cool. I like that. Favorite movie?
Braveheart.
Happy Gilmore.
And last question, favorite season? Obviously, wait a second, you're in Arizona,
yeah.
But I want to hear yours.
We don't have seasons. It's just like
I still like the fall, pumpkin spice, whatever.
Okay, pumpkin spice. Okay. Spring. All right, cool. There you go. So love it. So last thoughts for you guys. Any last questions you want to share, or any last thoughts you want to share before we end our podcast?
I don't think so, man. That was also a lot of fun. I get invited to do podcasts and stuff, and you're the first I've ever accepted to actually do. I was like, I got to rip this Band-Aid off, man. Because I would always be like, why the hell does anybody want to talk to me?
I've been giving him a hard time for years. I'm like, he's got invited to some cool podcast. And then he was like, well, they want to talk to you too. And I was like, no. And he was like, well, how are you going to give me a hard time and then say no? So he had a point.
Well, now that we've kind of broke the Band-Aid, now you have a wealth of information to do more podcasts.
So bad, right?
That was great. That was fantastic. We hit all the all the levels today. It was great. So guys, where can we follow you?
I'm trying to get better at social media. So our Instagram is Shane Early AZ, I think it is. Yeah.
What's your website?
Shane Early AZ, and then our Facebook is facebook.com/TDDSV. The website's just shaneearly.com. I think actually
we have to approve. We just had it built. So we have to go through and approve it right now.
So it will be ShaneEarly.com. It has been, but we just got the systems to update it and kind of systemize it because our old one wasn't cutting it.
That's perfect. I love it, guys. Where they can find Instagram, your website. I love that. So guys, if you want to come see them more intimately, I hang out on their Thursday calls on Platinum. You'll see these two wonderful humans on our call on Thursdays. But other than that, guys, thank you for this great podcast. Thank you for your time away from these wonderful children of yours back in Arizona. And let's definitely have an amazing day, guys. And look forward to seeing you guys this week. Team, have a great day, guys. Appreciate you guys.
Was I supposed to flex?
You should have.
Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate you. I know how hard it can be and tough it can be when you're feeling stuck, overwhelmed, or even burnt out in growing your business. I have been there, so I can relate. So before you wrap up, I want to offer you something special, free of charge, as my gift to you. It's our Team Business Assessment. If you go to trainerrevenuemultiplier.com, you can get a copy of that. There's a link on the homepage to grab that assessment. This will give you clarity you need to see where your company is at right now, the bottlenecks you're facing or where you're possibly stuck in the business, and what steps you can take to move forward to grow it to the next level. And if you want to go one step further, we can book a call together and I can personally go over your results with you and give you a roadmap you can move forward with to grow to the next level. Head over to the website. Let's get some clarity together. I look forward to speaking to you soon, and I wish you an amazing day. Take care. Let's keep rocking.